What is up, everybody? How are we doing? Night before Easter. Hopefully, everyone's off. I worked yesterday, so I'm off today, off for the Easter holiday. I'm going to try to keep this about an hour, hour and a half. We'll say hi to everybody in a moment. Talk about some Easter stuff here because I think it's apropos, if you will. And then we'll get to the Delphi stuff. And case-wise, there isn't a lot going on. Legal wrangling wise, there's been quite a few things going on. And depending on where you view things and what your prism is on how you view things, you're going to view things differently. And I don't think anybody's changed their minds really about Delphi as far as Richard Allen's innocence or guilt. You have a lot of people that think Richard Allen's guilty. I'm in that class, probably about 85%. And then you have a lot of people that think it's anyone but him. It's this one, it's that one, it's that one. But we'll talk about that. Having a couple gluten-free beers tonight since I'm off. The Red Bridge, guys know I'm a celiac. I'll probably bring some of these with me out to Indianapolis. I could drink seltzers and stuff too. Not a huge drinker. You guys know I'd rather smoke my pot. Prescribed by the doctor, so who am I to argue? So let's say hello to everybody here. Hopefully everyone's having a nice, calm night. Maybe we're cooking. Maybe wives or girlfriends are cooking, getting ready for tomorrow, having people over. We go to my mom's. Always look forward to it. Big thing we have on Easter is lamb. Croatian, my stepdad's Croatian, their family, so they're big with lamb. And my mom makes my Aunt Carol, who passed away, the best whipped horseradish you've ever eaten in your life. So I'm looking forward to that. They hook me up. They make everything just about gluten-free. So, Mother of all dragons, how are you doing? Excuse me. Good to see you. I just ate a gluten-free pepperoni roll my girlfriend got me. And anytime I have a beer or two or a glass of Coke, forget about it. I'm burping. What's up, Jill? Jill, I think you're going. I hope to meet you, get to see you at the walks and anyone else. Rescue all the dogs. How are you? It has been too long. Hope to see you there next week. I'll be getting into town Friday night. I'm staying in Lafayette. I'll be getting into town probably around 6 or 7 o'clock. So I'm going to miss Friday's walk, the Karina McClurkin walk. I wish I could have made it. Unfortunately, I cannot. But I plan to, I don't know what people are working, Frosty schedule and people like that, but I plan to kind of go get up Saturday morning and probably either head to Flora or head to the Mono and High Bridge. There's some research that I want to do. I don't have to be on my own, but there's things that I want to see and how it's laid out. There's a couple things that I want to see for myself to help me understand a couple things. And then I'm going to go to Flora, 103 East Columbia Street. The house isn't there anymore, but I just, I got to make a pilgrimage there. We'll do the walk Saturday and then do the walk Sunday at the cemetery, which I understand is in Indianapolis. And then from there, I'll come home. About a 7-hour drive for me. So not the end of the world. I'll make a nice playlist. I listen to a lot of different things. So what's up, Joe? How are you? Always good to see you. Julianne. Tech Def, I don't know if I said hi to you yet or not, but you're up in here. Ashley Schaefer. The very talented Ashley Schaefer. Jinx. Hope everybody's, whatever you're doing tonight, watching maybe some baseball, some college basketball, hanging out maybe with your family, having a couple of drinks because you're off tomorrow, whatever it is. Hopefully it's a good, quiet, calm night. We get to see some family, some people tonight, hopefully everyone tomorrow. What's up, Olivia? How are you? But a couple of things that I want to talk about regarding the Delphi case. Oh, while we're talking about Easter. Ooh. 100 plus eggs filled. Wow. I don't have to do that anymore. My kids are older and my girlfriend's kids are older. What's up, Thistle? Used to have to do that. I have a couple of nephews, but that's all handled. I just watch them run around and grab stuff. What's up, little one? Glad you're here for live. Delphi Dummies, another funny, talented creator. You got to understand something, too. I laugh when people make stuff about me. Hockey. Sorry, TOS. I'm not a huge hockey fan. Even though I'm in Pittsburgh and their Penguins are here. A guy I work with, my captain, is a big-time hockey fan. Used to play goalie. So I kind of stay up what's going on with him. He does not like basketball. My brackets have been busted. I'm probably going to finish 6 out of 6 people in my true Easter. I talked to my girlfriend about. She doesn't have any answers for me either. So we know the 4th of July falls on the 4th of July, Christmas, December 25th, Memorial Day, last Monday of May or whatever. We know these things. Thanksgiving, last Thursday of November. How about Easter? Well, here I am. I'm here on March 31st. Well, watch out. Now I'm here on April 15th. So I don't know how that works. I'm not a super religious person, but I always thought that Easter surprises you. One month, 1 year it's early, one year it's late, and I never really heard an explanation of why it's early or late. I don't know. I don't understand it, and forgive my ignorance if I'm being ignorant. Don't know why Easter falls where it is, but Easter kind of like jumps up in your face and surprises you. Hey, here I am, Easter. So get your eggs ready, and whatever else you do, ham, lamb, potato salad's big here. A lot of German immigrants in the McKeesport area. My grandma was German. Potato salad was a big thing. But anyways, hopefully everyone has a good time tomorrow, hanging with their family, kids, get them a bunch of chocolate. I get my nephews a bunch of chocolate and watch them run amok. So let's talk about Delphi. Let's talk about what's been going on. You guys know I'm no attorney. I'm no legal eagle, okay, 100%. But a couple general observations. One of them I talked about before. I see a pivot in the defense. And we'll talk about that. The defense pivoting. Their strategy is pivoting in front of us, and I'll talk about that. So let's talk about Hennessy, attorney Hennessy. Guy's about 72 years old, longtime lawyer, been in the game for a long time. It's not necessarily a shot, but he just drenches lawyer. That's not a bad thing for every attorney, but you can tell when certain people talk, this guy's a fucking attorney, good or bad or indifferent. So a couple of things that he said. He was on with Bob Marty yesterday, and I forgot the girl's name, forgot to write it down. But here's a couple of things that he mentioned. One of the things is, so Hennessy, and correct me if I'm wrong here, maybe somebody in the comments will, Hennessy represents Baldwin, attorney Andy Baldwin. He does not represent Richard Allen. He has nothing to do with the Richard Allen case. He hasn't filed an appearance thing or whatever. None of that. As far as I know. I could be incorrect. If I'm wrong, please correct me in the comments, and I'll go a different way. But I don't think so. He represents attorney Baldwin. So why is he involved with anything past attorney Baldwin? Because God have his goodness of his heart? Yeah, that's possible. Could he want to get his name out there in one big hurrah here at the end? So why is he doing anything about this? On the same note, people were blasting him saying, oh, maybe discovery, maybe you left this or that. I don't think he's under the gag order because he doesn't have anything to do with the Richard Allen case. Nothing. Absolutely nothing. He represents attorney Baldwin. So could he talk about things? I guess theoretically. And the more you hear, anyone could talk about it. Because despite what the judge had in her rules of discovery, we come to find out at the other hearing, the last hearing, last Monday or Monday before, yeah, we share shit all the time with other attorneys. We do that. So that's not has a huge thing there. So I don't think he's involved. So why he wants to collect money, it's from 25 to 40, whatever. People that are donating money to this fund doesn't mean that they are bad people. I don't think they're bad people. I think they're being worked. Worked's a wrestling term where we have a fake fight. It's a pretend thing. A shoot is a real thing. They've made all this bullshit up. A lot of it's all bullshit. It has nothing to do with the actual case itself. It's for the optics of the case, which if you watch the comment sections and a lot of the news stations too from Indiana, they're winning that. They're doing a good job. The prosecution by law can't say anything. They really can't come out and say anything. So this is defense attorneys 101. This happens a lot in every case, almost every high profile case. Now, there's things with Delphi that hasn't happened in other cases that I've seen. You're missing 70 days at ish. There's some things that are being brought up in question. And I expect them to have answers for them. Let me say this. If the state does not have answers for that, for a lot of that shit, or they just brush it off, that's going to look horrible in front of a jury. Horrible in front of a jury, regardless of what you think of Richard Allen's guilt or not. If they just brush this stuff off and the defense is able to be effective with it, now we're reading humans, we're reading judgment. It'll look really bad. But I wanted to keep it with Hennessy there. So what's Hennessy doing is he represents Andrew Baldwin. What does he have to do with Richard Allen? He's a cheerleader for Richard Allen right now. That's all he is. He's not put on the case. As long as somebody doesn't have anything to do with that for me. And I see someone here, Hiawatha Hennessy needs to make a name for himself. Well, I think he does, Hiawatha, because I'm not an attorney person at all. But how many of us never heard of Hennessy until this today? And he just doesn't strike me as someone that gives a fuck generally about people. I could be way wrong about that. But I'll defend Hennessy because I think what he said, he could say because he's not involved in the Delphi case. So he's not under the gag order, as I understand it. As I understand it, he's not under the gag order because he doesn't have anything to do with the Richard Allen defense. He's representing Baldwin on his contempt. Once that's over, Hennessy should go away. What do you, I mean, go away and, work your other cases. You say you don't have time, you have these other cases. So another thing that I need answered, and I got a pretty good answer from someone that knows the courts better than me, but let me ask everyone in the chat this. So the defense attorneys are saying they're not getting money. They're not getting money. So the defense attorneys, not Hennessy, the actual defense attorneys who are paid by the taxpayers of Indiana. Hennessy isn't. Hennessy should be paid by Baldwin. So the people that are getting paid by the taxpayers of Indiana have to turn in expense reports or have to turn in these things to the judge. As far as I could tell, they haven't done any of that yet. They haven't billed for their hours. I haven't seen it. If someone's seen it, you could send it to me and I'll correct myself right now. So is this a tactic? I don't know if it is or not. Hey, we didn't bill for hours. We're telling you you're not getting paid, blah, 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 blah. Is that a tactic? I don't know. But again, it doesn't have anything to do with the nuts and bolts of the case itself. The case itself is the same. The evidence is the same. The prosecution is going to say one thing. The defense is going to say another. These things all could make it look bad. If the prosecution and the state can do this, what they need to come out doing and explain that. Explain that. How long as I have that correct, explain that. When you want to go to the judge, you filed his paperwork. She signs off on a check. You guys get the check. You go do X, Y, and Z. That's how you bill for your hours. Hennessy talking about billing for hours, that has nothing to do with Judge Gall. You call Andy Baldwin because that's who owes you the money. All right? As I understand that, unless I'm way wrong, which I've been before on legal stuff. But I wanted to talk a little bit about that. I don't want to go too deep into the legal stuff. You need to find a solid attorney in the middle because a lot of these attorneys are so heavily slanted. They found a way to get around GoFundMe because you can't use this for GoFundMe. So, they found a way. These attorneys, these podcasters found a way. Hey, let's do this. Let's do that. And I don't think the people that are giving money are bad people. I don't think those people don't want justice for Libby and Abby. Not all of them. I think that they just believe what they're hearing from the defense and are taking that as scripture. They're taking what the defense says as like they're reading it out of a law book. And let me tell you a couple of things about the defense. And they didn't lie. They didn't lie. They're never going to be able to prove they lied in the Frank's motion. So discovery. So they got at least two dumps of discovery after the Frank's motion came out. So if something they got shows, if there's a video of Richard Allen killing the girls, they're not going to come out and say that. They're not going to come out and say that. They didn't get all the information when they wrote the Frank's thing. So bear with me for a second. So we don't know what they got after that, right? In the Frank's memo, it was Odinism. Let's cite Major Glick. Major Click says he doesn't think it was Odinism, and no one in law enforcement believes it was Odinism, but he does believe that Fields, Messer, and those guys had something to do with it. What you're seeing now is you're seeing the defense shift to that. You're not going to hear Odinism, in my opinion, too much anymore from the defense. They're not going to say this was an Odinist sacrifice. They're going to say these Odinists are the ones that did it. So they're going to pivot from that, which I don't understand why they didn't do that at the beginning. If you're going to quote Major Click and make him your star witness as a law enforcement officer, that's great for the defense. But why are you going to rebut him? But when he was on the stand, not one time did they say Odinist or Odinism. They said Vinlanders. So they're pivoting. You understand? They're pivoting the defense. Pretty soon, it's not going to be an Odinist sacrifice. It's going to be, well, they were killed by these guys who happen to be Odinists, and then whatever theory they'll put out on top of that. But you're seeing that happen in front of you. So watch the people with YouTube channels. What are they going to say next? Are the diehard Odinist people? Are they going to stick to their guns with Odinism? Or are they now going to pivot? Oh, yeah, well, it wasn't this. So whatever the defense does, they do. They parrot it. The people that believe Richard Allen has been guilty for a long time, I'm in that camp. Probably, like I said, about 85% on it. I got to see all the evidence. I can't be 100. Other people would say, well, you'll parrot whatever law enforcement says. You're right. You're right. That's fair. That's a fair thing to say. However, I would look at it this way too. We've been on one thing. We haven't jumped ship and changed. Where it's Ron Logan, it's the Odinist, and the people just keep jumping ship and changing. It's anyone but Richard Allen. So if you have someone you really liked and you thought it was them and you stuck to your guns the whole time, I respect you. Even people think it was Ron Logan. I don't think Ron Logan's a guy on the bridge. I think Ron Logan knew something after the fact. And whatever he did, he did. I don't know what it was, but I hope we find that out in May. So hopefully I didn't say anything wrong there about the legal stuff. But you watch the defense pivot. In my opinion, they're pivoting from an Odinist sacrifice to this other thing here. Let's get to some comments. I know people have a lot of comments, might have agreed or disagreed with what I had to say. I can't say enough about Redbridge, man. If you have a gluten-free or you're just gluten for health reasons, it's made of sorghum, but it doesn't suck. I know everyone in the chat's probably like, well, sorghum? What the hell? But it's good. Necessary Evil, how are you? Oh, let me get to it here. Here we go. Jill was going to the walk. Anyone else that's going to the walk, I really look forward to meeting anybody, regardless of how you feel about Richard Allen. That's not what the walk's about. The walk's about Libby and Abby. So I hope people that think that maybe Richard Allen's innocent don't feel like they should come to the walk, because they absolutely should. You know, as long as everyone's there peacefully and don't start any trouble, it's for everybody. Randy does a great job with that, getting that together. And it's my first trip. I've never been in Indiana before. So I'm looking forward to it. Daily Survivor, 9 grandchildren. Busy day. Lots of chocolate. What's up, Lone Pony? Kentucky Sleuth Angel. I laugh too. As long as it's funny. Even if people that I don't like on YouTube or have quote unquote gone to war with on YouTube, if they say or do something funny about me, I'll laugh. I'll laugh. Some of it's funny and some of it isn't funny, but I'll laugh. CJK making some potato salad. Necessary Evil. Hopefully you got something to do tomorrow. Don't be too bored. I don't know where you're at. The weather's a little bit better here. I'm a potato salad guy too. Why is Mata talking to Hennessy? Yeah, I don't blame Bob Mata. Look, if Hennessy would come on my show, I'd bring him on my show because it's interesting. And is it for clicks? Yeah, you'll get some clicks, but it's very interesting. I'd love to interview David Hennessy, and I'd love to interview Kim Riley, because Kim Riley, in my opinion, for the state police, a really good-looking guy, my girlfriend tells me, an older Silver Fox guy. You can tell the guy just golfs and drinks beers, and he's really cool to hang out with, maybe go to a basketball game with. Hopefully no one's following us like a private investigator if we did that. But he gives a ton. He gives a ton of information out. Well, I don't know if Gall would do anything. The crowd, the initial, and again, I don't know. All I know of Hennessy is the way he's acted in court, and multiple people from both sides have said that. He was loud and boisterous, and not this hearing, the hearing before. He was talking shit on Librato and Scremin very loudly. And the guy likes to drink. Hey, I'm having a beer as I do this. I'm not knocking him for that. I got no compassion for anyone that drinks and drives, but hopefully he figured out his error of his ways and, you know, gets an Uber. Drink every day if you want to. Just get an Uber or walk to where you're going. But I see him as, and maybe I'm wrong. And if I'm wrong, I'll apologize. I just see him personally as a circling vulture. Who I really feel bad for in all this is Rozzy. I really do. I think that he's a good guy, and he's kind of stuck in the middle of all of this. That's my personal opinion. What's up, Melissa? How are you? Hopefully it's always going well with you, Melissa. You're doing good, hanging in there. Well, when people call names CJK and they get to that, they have no argument. They could just come out and say, bang, 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 you did all this wrong, Judge Gall. But when they make names, and you know, it's, excuse me, I keep burping. It's middle school cafeteria lunchtime. So, Mommy Wolverine. Thank you, Mommy Wolverine. I was just getting ready to tell you hi. for your super sticker. Where are you at? I just had you here. I was getting ready to pull you up before I even saw that. But I thank you, Mommy Wolverine. Very kind. We bringing some iced teas for people. The iced tea in a carton for everyone to try. They sell them in 30 packs. So, yeah, check out Randy. Randy does all the walks. Randy has been to a lot of the cases. You want to hear an attorney in the middle? Check out Crime Talk. Never heard of that one, Hi. I like to hear the attorneys in the middle. And listen, I like Bob Motta. I really, really like Bob Motta. I disagree with the case. I think I know what he's trying to do. And I'm not knocking him, man. He has 15,000 subscribers. I don't know how much law he's practicing anymore. But that guy sits there and talks. He got a lot to talk about. He got a lot of stories to tell with his dad and things like that. And I'm very interested in it. But I mean, I think that he's a personality too. On YouTube, he's a personality like I am. And I enjoy him and his wife, and I also enjoy the prosecutors. But I will check out Crime Talk. I appreciate that. What's up, Captain? How are you? Always good to see the Captain. Captain, some of the best videos on YouTube about anything. We actually did. He did the station the station. What's it called? The Station Restaurant, the Rhode Island Fire, the White Snake concert. We actually used that as a training video once at work because even my deputy chief, it's been around the block, he had some film that we didn't see. So always support the Captain. Frosty, what is up, Frosty? How are you? Missed your live the other night. Let me know. I'll jump on one with you soon, anytime. Looking forward to meeting you, Frosty, out there. Next weekend, you can message me. We'll hook up somehow and hang out for sure. What is the difference between a Vinlander and an Odinist? Daily Survivor, that's a really good question. I'm going to try to answer it for you. And hopefully, if I'm wrong, someone in the comments corrects me. So a Vinlander, an Odinist is more of the religious aspect of that white supremacy religion, if that makes sense, where a Vinlander maybe is not as strict or more of a gang orientation than a religion. But I could be mistaken about that. But that's the way I think it is. Hopefully, if I'm wrong, someone could correct me on that. Went on a stream and basically admitted they have digital. Yeah, that was the other thing. And thanks for bringing that because I have that here too. So they want two of the things they're asking for is a digital expert to refute the FBI. The FBI has digital stuff from the phones, from the towers. We're not exactly sure what. But early on, they said they didn't have digital evidence. Maybe they didn't. Maybe they didn't get that before the September Franks memo, right? Maybe they didn't lie. Maybe they really didn't get it. Then they wrote the Franks memo. The other thing is the DNA expert. Well, we know that there's DNA there. There's some kind of DNA. We don't know if it's a 9-point match. We don't know any of that. But we know that just from listening to previous interviews from the police, from reporters, they were freely talking about it the first couple of months. Yeah, we have DNA. So what I believe is that there's DNA. It's somehow corrupted. There's the girl's DNA and there's a male DNA. I don't know if it's going to be where they compare it down to like this isn't like the Long Island serial killer Rex Heuermann, where they can say that this is out of a million people, it's 99.2%. It's his. It might only narrow it down to 75%. Or only 20% of the population has this, or whatever. We have to wait and see what that is. We have to wait and see what that is. And that will be coming up in May or whenever the hearing happens. Oh, I didn't see the Captain had a new video today. If you ever come urban exploring, Frosty and Ashley, I live in the town fort. There's a bunch of old mills and houses. There's the old Penn McKee Hotel, which people aren't allowed to go in anymore. But I will check out the Captain. I was watching a lot of baseball today and getting ready for tonight. Did some running around. Yeah, it was a long live yesterday. I watched some of it, not all of it, probably half of it. But I watched it in like 3 different segments, so I'll go back and watch it again. Oh, here we go. Necessary Evil. The Vinlanders were an odinistic outshot of the outlaw biker gang created here. Okay, there you go. So I guess I was kind of right then. Outlaw bikers in Florida. Where could I find Mary Margaret? I'm pretty sure, Mary Margaret, it was on the Defense Diaries podcast yesterday. You'll see Hennessy, and I forget the lady. I can't remember what her name is. She has a nice channel, very, very well spoken, real pretty lady. I can't remember what her name is, but it was those two basically in Hennessy. But I'm pretty sure that you will find it on the Defense Diaries channel. Very interesting. What's up, Nana? Hope you're having a great evening too. I'm going to get drunk and high and chat with the police force. Indiana's boring. Well, I look forward to seeing a lot of stuff out there. And hey, Kathy, how are you? Mommy Wolverine agrees into Kim Riley too. My girlfriend's like, oh, he's a really good looking older guy. Yeah, Daily Survivor. It's good. It's whether you like Hennessy, whether you like Bob Motter or not, or whatever. It's a very interesting interview. Hey, there's Ruckus. I enjoy watching other people. Not everybody. Some people just, they come with just, it's just too much bullshit. It's about them. It's the Jerry Springer channels. Excuse me. Everybody's jumping in now. Saying hi to Ruckus. Cryptex, what's up? Cryptex always has some really cool videos. Knocking off. What about, let me know about next weekend, Frosty. Defense lawyer is going to defend. Yeah, you know what? I've only watched one of them. So I didn't even know who Bob Motta was until like way into this. When I'm like, wait a minute. His dad helped, and I watched the show on Gacy on Netflix and I was very interested about it. So I'm very interested. I will go back and watch those shows. And I don't know if Bob Motta would ever come on here, but I would love to have him on here and talk about that. Talk about the Gacy stuff. Prosecutors better than the defense. Yeah, I agree. I like all four of them, but I would give the edge there. And just in like, as Brett and Alice, just a little bit more energy, maybe. But everybody's pretty good. What's up, Lakeside? Happy Easter to you. Don't forget to check out the Florida channel, obviously. Be nice to pay my respects there finally. Atlanta Braves, they were putting a whooping on Philly before, Carol. I don't know. I think there was some rain delays there, I believe. Check out Ashley Schaefer as always. Kathy, heard you're changing your name to Martha Trucker. I do too. As long as they're being cool, as long as they're not, here's my things. Don't be racist. Don't bash the families. In this particular case, there's several other cases that are going on right now. Or if you want to talk shit on the families, I'm right there with you because I think they're involved. And, they blame families. That there's some racist, some, homophobic stuff. And people just attack other people. They just don't have anything to say. And it's like a basketball coach. You're scouting the other team, right? You want to see what they're doing. You want to watch their game so you know. I think Motta has a future. I think that's what he wants to do. And I think that he could see him on Court TV or something like that. I do. I think that he has that, we call it chutzpah. I don't even know if that's a hunky word or what it is. All right. So, a couple of things I put together. So the case for Richard Allen's guilt, in my opinion, then I'm going to show you who the expert is that they don't want, the pathological expert that they don't want involved in the case. And he was the Terre Haute coroner who did the autopsy on the girls. So I have an article about him retiring and they want to hire their own. So the case for Richard Allen's guilt, in my opinion, number one, the biggest thing is you look, there's 156 page Frank's memo, laid out everything in the world that could possibly have happened, but they don't give him an alibi. right? So, you know, we want to say about Westfall and this one and that one. You know, Holder. Holder's on a video driving his truck at work. You know, these people have alibis. They're, you know, a couple hundred miles away. Allen puts himself there that day. That day. He has the clothes. Yeah, I know that's a small thing because everyone out there probably owns that same exact outfit. But when you add it to the other things, it looks worse, right? His gun. They immediately started taking guns from people. The first search on the Bicycle Bridge Road, they took guns. They wanted Logan's gun. They didn't say about a bullet, but they wanted, we have a SIG P40 or 40 cal. That's able to come back. Now, whether you want to argue that evidence or not, we will see. They'll have experts versus experts, and whoever does the better job ordering that. But that's just one more piece in this, okay? Multiple confessions to prominent women. What does that mean? His wife and his mother. Usually when people confess, they don't confess falsely to parents. I don't know what Richard Allen's relationship like was with his mom. That would help me figure it out, but it's multiple confessions to prominent women and or staff. So you add that to the other things, all right? The Odinists have an alibi. Nobody saw them. So the other people that you're saying might have done this, there's nothing to corroborate that. There's just theory and speculation. There isn't anything there. This one said this one said that. No one saw them there. No one saw them there. I go back to the box in the bedroom. I think the box is going to be key. The woven wooden box wrapped in paper, kept in a place of prominence with, in my opinion, the 2 burner phones that were used in this crime, one way, shape, or form. You know, a bullet that might have popped out, another one. We really don't know. We don't know about the striations on the gun. We don't know if he attempted to use the gun, if it was just cycled and popped out. We think we know, but we don't know these things for sure. The other side of things, right? The other side of things is we don't know about his phone information yet. The defense said one thing, then they asked for a phone expert. So when they said, and the defense said, we don't think his phone was there, I don't think his phone was there either. I think his phone was left at home. He didn't turn it off, but they have not said, no, Richard Allen was at home with his phone. Why would he leave his phone at home? This is where it fucks them, in my opinion, on the alibi. They can't say he was home because whether he lied and said he was there from 12 to 1:30 or 1:30 to 3:30, whatever it is, phone's home the whole time. So what are you looking up on a stock ticker? What phone are you on a stock ticker? If that's the case, do you want a burner? Why are you on a burner? Okay. That's where I think this goes. I don't have any solid evidence or proof of that, but just the more I read into it, that's logically where I think this is going. And I think that's where the state's going with it. And, hail in here. If you hear it, I think that's where they're going with it. And that's just my 2 cents. My 2 cents, that's what I think. And again, you watch the pivot in the defense. They're pivoting from an Odinist sacrifice to Vinlanders did this. So I'm interested to see the YouTube channels, if they're going to stay on the Odinist sacrifice or if they're going to drop the Odinist sacrifice and say Vinlanders, which I don't know why the defense didn't do this at the beginning. If you're going to use Major Click and he's going to be your star witness, that's a good star witness for a defense, a former cop signed to a task force. But Major Click doesn't know what he doesn't know. He doesn't know what the rest of the task force was doing. Maybe he felt jaded. Hey, you guys didn't come to me and tell me what I was doing was bullshit. Why didn't you guys fill me in? Maybe there's some jadedness there. I don't know. But this Odinist sacrifice thing, in my opinion, is going to go away. Are they going to say that they did this with the sticks, because it's this or that? It's possible. It's possible. I don't know if the sticks fell, if they were laid there. And I told you guys this. I think the sticks were laid there. They were going to make a blind. Richard Allen, he was going to cover them with leaves and other sticks to try to keep them hidden, right? Something like 70% of the bodies, don't quote me on the number, you can look it up. 70% of the bodies that are found outside that are victims of murder are covered up in some way, shape, or form. Covered up for a quick concealment. So if someone's riding past, they're not going to notice it. But if someone's walking around, blah, 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 they're going to notice it. How they didn't find the bodies that night, I don't know. I'm hoping to understand that when I go out there to see how this is set up. I don't know if I'll be out there at night or not, but I'm hoping to understand it because it seems hard to understand how they didn't find it. The leaves would also cover them and block them from FLIR, forward-looking infrared. Okay, we use FLIR technology, and I showed you the video. You can go back and look at it where we have cameras. We look through the walls, see if there's fire behind the wall. And if it's not out, I don't have to tear a hole in this wall anymore and physically look and see if the insulation's burned, plaster and lath, or burn, or the studs are burned. You can block it with leaves. Whether that person knew that or not, I don't know. But they could have covered them. They could have been covered with leaves. We don't know that. I haven't seen the crime scene photos, but people that have seen the crime scene photos said they're not covered with anything. So you got 6 or 8, however many crime scene photos came out. I don't know how many people got each, but say you got all 6 or all 8. They probably took several thousand. So from those photos, what part of the processing was that in? Were they already uncovered? Were they partially covered? Did wind blow some of them off? What exactly happened? For people that are sharing the crime scene photos, I don't see the advantage in it. For people that are sending them to the families, God, what the fuck's wrong with you guys? What are you guys doing? I don't understand it at all. I don't understand it. I always try to understand where people are coming from, and most people on YouTube, the pages they have, I understand where they're coming from. I might vehemently disagree with them. I might even think that they're bad people or bad human beings, but I don't see it here. I don't see how you would do that here. God, it's cold. It is a cold thing to do. It's a cold thing to do to share those pictures for whatever reason you're gain you think you're getting. You're not doing anybody any favors. And again, you're not helping the case. It isn't like we're seeing 1,000 different pictures and we're understanding everything that happened. I don't know if it's for clicks. I don't know if these people in their heads think that they're doing the right thing in some way, shape, or form, but it's fucking crazy. What are we doing? What are we doing here, guys? Come on. Like, it's too much. It's a bridge too far. Say what you will about me, but I think that you're going to see that those people are just going to kind of fall by the wayside. Whatever they're in it for, I don't know, but I'll never understand that. Why people would share the pictures. I'll never understand personally. And maybe I'm wrong. Maybe I'm fucked up. But I'll never understand the advantage to that or how that helps the case. Whenever you're doing something on this case, think about Abby and Livy maybe up in heaven looking down. Hey, good job. Hey, good work or whatever. It might sound like a weird thing to say, but try to think of it that way. So when all these people are doing all this shit to each other, is it helping the case? No, it's about them. And listen, I jumped on that. I couldn't take it anymore. I had my blow up with people, and I did things to people. Whether I did or whether I should have done it or not, I go back and forth with that. I don't know, but I do think that if we ignore this culture of vile reptilians is what they are, and this isn't people that think Richard Allen's innocent. These are people that blame the family, that try to personally inject themselves into the case. And we know why they're doing that. Their lives are just they're just not full, and they get some followers on YouTube and they become a big deal. And it's a free country, and it's how you run your channel. But I think that if the good creators and the good human beings here, regardless of what they think about Richard Allen's guilt, right? Regardless of who donates to anything, none of that matters. At the end of the day, we're going back and forth. We'll move on to the next case. Whatever happens here, we'll move on. We'll talk about the next case. These people are going to be stuck here. And this is all that they have, and it's just, goodness gracious, it's kind of sets humanity back. I feel like it sets humanity back, but I've seen people that attack, that don't want to attack, but it says a whole lot about them. It says more about them than it does about the YouTube community. Let's put it that way. And if you know what I mean, you know what I mean. And you almost feel bad for them in a way. You do, because you see people falling apart at the seams in front of your eyes, and you like to help. Sometimes you throw a line out to help, and maybe they say, I'll take the line, or maybe they tell you to go fuck yourself. I've had both happen recently, so that's fine. Again, we're adults here, and this is your channel. You want to do that with your channel, that's fine. I don't know what the YouTube policies on that are, but it's dead children. It's dead children. So there's whatever you want to defend this or defend that. Make your argument that everybody in the world's corrupt and this is a 50-person conspiracy. That do what you want to do, but you don't need to involve pictures of dead children. I have no idea. I don't know. I don't see an end game for that. But anyways, let's see what we have to say in the comments. Catch up real quick. Then I'm going to show you this article about the good doctor from Terre Haute. I thought Pennsylvania had some wild town names. We have Bird in Hand, Intercourse, Blue Balls. But you guys, is there really a town called Little America or Americus? I did not see the pictures, Mommy Wolverine, and it serves no purpose. I've seen a lot of dead people in real life. I've seen dead children in real life, and I hope to never see any again, whether it's alive or in pictures. I never saw them in that setting, like looking at investigatively. You'd see them in a fire, and okay, they're over here. Tell the fire marshal, this is what we did. But I am too, CJK. I'm looking very forward to seeing and hearing all the evidence. One of the things I got to tell you, maybe I'm getting old and my eyes ain't what they used to be, but I cannot look at that video of Richard Allen, a bridge guy, and say that that's Richard Allen. I just can't. I can't honestly say it. It certainly looks like him, but I can't. I just can't believe that they couldn't do something better with that video. And maybe they did. Hennessy mentioned about a way to measure him by measuring the sticks and the boards. I said that like 3 years ago. I'm like, we could measure the size of a rock on the goddamn moon, but we can't tell how tall this guy is. Now, there's a guy that's always in chat named Todd. I don't know if Todd's in here today, but Todd emailed me a very interesting way to tell their height based on the girl's height and some other things. And I'll email Todd and ask for his permission to share that because he did some really good work. Hennessy mentioned there's this college kid that did it. And thank you, Carol. Yeah, I don't know. People shared them, and then there's been 2 creators that have actually put them on YouTube. They've been on YouTube on their lives, which you don't need to do. I mean, I just hurt people. Call it a frack. Yeah. Yeah. I've talked to him several times, not recently in the last few days, but yeah, George Rye, such a great attorney, George Rye. So, attorney in Indiana doesn't involve a spelling bee because there's a lot of both ways. There's a lot of things. Yeah, it could be. It certainly could be, Joe. I did what I did. I knew I was getting back, but I'm not complaining. But the funny thing is the people that blame the cops are always corrupt. The cops are always corrupt. The cops are always corrupt. Someone puts a comment in one of their videos. I'm calling the cops. Which is it going to be? Are they always corrupt? Or, how's that work? How's that work? They never said RA has 255K. I don't know if that's the fundraiser was up to like 27. And then Hennessy said they'll lift it to 40 or 45. Don't quote me on the numbers. I have not donated. Yeah, you have to take yourself away from it. You do, because it's no matter what side you're on, you have to take yourself away from it and give yourself a break. But just keep in mind that we can do that. Creators, people that come in chats and talks, but the families can't do that. It's always there for them. Well, things happen, Kathy. Things happen. And when things happen and people make mistakes, good people own up to them. And then we move on from there. Hey, Tanisha, I haven't seen you in a while. Yeah, is there a place in Indiana called Young America? Like a city? George Rye sucks. George Rye, science guy. Even Masons will not. Yeah, people don't understand what the kids, child's like us. I agree with you too, Hiawatha, but I think they were starting to set up like a blind to cover them. Now, no one else has said that but me. So maybe I'm way wrong on it. But I agree with you too. It was an odd way for them to, and they could have some of them could have fell off a tree. Absolutely, it could have happened that time of year. You know, it's warming up, snow's kind of melting, dead wood's kind of falling off. So it's certainly possible. But that's one of the things I'm interested to see how the state explains that, because we don't know how they're going to explain it. You know, so those are things I'm very interested in seeing. George Rye, 2024. You have to find someone that can run with you, Ruckus, named Bread. So you can get Rye Bread. 2024. I'm glad I don't watch the channels that show. Yeah, I mean, I don't know, you know. Yeah, probably not. No matter who it was, yeah, that's a different story altogether. Probably not. Probably nobody. I showed them on YouTube, soulless. Yeah, but a lot of them say they're Christians, which is funny. But hey, I digress. The cops are not always corrupt. They are sometimes. Yeah, though they are. There's corruption there. But like I said, in my opinion, in my experience, and people that I know, and the cops that I've dealt with, my brother, attorney general agent, if there's an issue with the police or with an arrest, 99 out of 100 times it's incompetence. It isn't a conspiracy. And now it's harder to do with the body cameras, because you got to go to that second cop and say, hey, listen, we need to say this. So, but is there corruption in police? Absolutely there is. There absolutely is. 100% corruption in anything. But I see where people say the police, because they're the only people technically in the whole scope of the justice system, maybe a judge and a jury, that can take someone's life. So they need to be held to a higher standard. 2 granddaughters. I know. I couldn't imagine it, Junior. Hopefully you got them, even at her teens, got them some candy tomorrow so they can get all jacked up and run around the house, even as teenagers. Big fish, small pond. I think a lot of it is that no one wants to show their ass. And I think, and I've been critical about the police in this aspect of the case. I think there was mistakes made, obviously. For 2 years, they went the wrong route. Want to know what that route was. Explain that. Why did we do that? Why did we make this mistake? You know, Doug Carter seems to be that type of guy that will come out and say that. But I'm sure they're saying, you can't say that. You can't say that right now. So whenever this is over, Richard Allen, innocent, guilty, whatever happens, I'd like to know, listen, this is where we were going the first days of the investigation, and this is what changed it. And yeah, we should have gave you more information at first. And as time, the years passed, we should have told you more things. And we should have. Not only should we have done it here, we're going to show you where we learned from the Delphi case over here in the next case, in the Smith case. When the Smith case happens, we learned in Delphi, we didn't give enough information. So we're going to give you more information. We're going to change the way Amber Alerts maybe are done. I know people were big on the Amber Alert. It involves a car a lot of times. So, you know, and they didn't think that they thought the girls were with hanging out with somebody or fell or something like that. But learn from it. The same way that we can learn from it as YouTubers, as internet sleuths, right? We all fancy ourselves a little bit as detectives. I know I do. And I know cops look at us like, you ain't no fucking detective, like my brother. But that's okay, because this is what we're into. And we have good energy. We're bringing the good energy. So when we look at the Delphi case, and Delphi case is over, and we move on to whatever the next case is that we're going to cover or we're going to talk about, we need to be better, learn from this case. And this case, all in all, is a shit show, right? We know that. We probably aren't going to see another case like this, maybe as bad. You would think, theoretically. But what if every big murder case, YouTube starts getting involved, social media starts getting involved, and the defense attorneys say, hey, there's an angle here. Let's talk to some of these people that think that our client's innocent. They'll give us theories, and they'll give us whether the theories are truthful, whether they're BS. You know, you could get both from them. So I just wonder if they're going to try to handle that differently. Then you got everyone that writes letters gets their name published. What we found out from that last Monday is all the letters that were written, they don't matter. They didn't read any of them. The judge, and apparently the defense and the prosecution, nobody cited any letters. So People write letters. They can do that. That's their right as a citizen of the planet, not even of the country. You can do that. Go ahead and do it. But at the end of the day, YouTube isn't really having that big of an impact other than what appears to be defense strategy. We don't know that the prosecution is going to use any YouTubers at all, right? We haven't seen any on the list, any coming to testify or nothing like that. Maybe they will. I don't think that they will, but the defense is using them. Back in the early days of the case, some genius kids from 4chan did the math on BG height. The math was math, and wonder how tall it was. If you remember, Jamie. Feel bad for Mama Rhodes. This is their wrestling talk. Well, hey, where were all the good guys to help him? I mean, Cody was getting beat for like 5 minutes. Rock was ramming his head into everything. Joe, he got to win. He got to win. He has to come back, Mama Rhodes, have his moment that his dad never had. What do you think, Joe? Any other wrestling marks? I'm actually going to be in Indiana for WrestleMania. And if anybody wants to watch WrestleMania with me at the I don't even know what hotel. It's not too fancy. Young America, Indiana. They got some crazy names. Again, Pennsylvania, Bird and Ham, Blue Ball, Intercourse, PA. But there's just some wild names out there. Kokomo, like that's crazy, right? It makes me think of the Beach Boys. Well, I'll be passing through there. See, the one Keegan Kline interview, he's like, yeah, Young America. I thought he was like talking about like young kids or something. I didn't know there was an actual place. What's up, Mustang? Incompetence happen. Yeah. You should come out and you should be on it and be upfront about it. Because if anything happens down the line where they figured there was a cover up and they're able to prove it, in any case, then now your case is screwed. Now your case is screwed. South of Logansport. You apologized. Yeah. You know what, too? That same guy was asking a bunch of people for him. Excellent question, Big Fish, Small Pond. Do you guys think that see the phone? This is total conjecture and total guessing, Big Fish. I don't think that he saw the phone on a bridge and realized he was being recorded. I think he saw them shooting a video recording from far away and didn't think anything of it. I also believe that she was getting calls from her dad while he was down there. The phone started ringing, so he put it underneath her so they wouldn't come to the sounds of the phone. This is Libby's phone. Did Abby have a phone? We think so. We're not really sure, but I've told you before, I think she was the one that got catfished. I think that she's the one that was the target. I think she shows undoing. She was redressed. And I think that undoing was the reason at the press conference that they said, we know you have just a little bit of goodness left in you to surmise whatever Doug Carter said. And I think that that's why. I really, really, really think that that's why. But I don't have any evidence, Big Fish, on that. That's just my opinion. Let me show you this real fast here. It's just a real quick Yahoo article about the retirement of said doctor. And this is from what I understand that the defense does not want him to testify, so they want to get their own guy, Dr. Roland Kohr. I hope I'm saying it right. Kohr, Kohr. So this is the guy that basically did the not basically, it's the guy that did holy clickbait. Oh, I hope they don't charge me here. Wait a minute. I got one from Yahoo. Let me find it. TriStar. I thought I sent the Yahoo one. Well, doesn't look like I did. These ones make you we don't want that. Give me 1 second, gentlemen and ladies. I'm going to send it to my thing right now. Share. I just want to read this to you real quick. I'm going to let you get us out of here for tonight. Answer any other questions anybody might have. Dr. Roland Core. He was I think 45 years. He was the medical examiner. We have coroners. See, this is bringing me back to this under Yahoo News. If I could read it to you, I can. We're not paying for your paper. Goodness gracious. Nope. Sorry, TribStar. Anyways. Let me come back here. I'll give you a quick read of it here. Writing a book. So he retires August 16, 2021. A well-known forensics pathologist whose expert testimony has been essential in hundreds of criminal trials. Core has been an essential part of death investigations in the Wabash Valley for decades. He certainly has plenty of stories to fill a book. On Friday, Core retired for 37 years as a pathologist at Terre Haute Regional Hospital. During the time, he also served 2 8-year stints as Vigo County coroner. So he's been on a ton of cases. He was 1988 was he first started being elected as the coroner. We have that here too. We elect him. He even appeared as himself in an episode of Cold Justice. So these guys been around. So this is the guy that did, from all from what I understand, they did the autopsies on Libby and Abby, and they don't want to use him. They want to use someone else. So they're trying to get money for a different forensic pathologist. But that was the guy. If you go back and watch the video of Hennessy yesterday, that's the guy they were talking a little bit of shit on. And, hey. A ton of it. There's a ton of it. There's big cities are the same way. A ton of it. Absolutely a lot of it. But in my experiences, big fish, and it's only been here in McKeesport, Pennsylvania, with any kind of investigation with kids, it's different. It's different. It's all hands on deck, and everyone in the police department wants to beat the shit out of everyone that hurt a kid. Yeah, we talked about it. Frosty's still in here, Joe, but that's the case. Joe, maybe you get some work on there and get your channel up, and we will come listen to you about that. I know that you mentioned that before, and there is Jinx saying it too. Possibly, I'm way out of the loop here, and I shouldn't even speak out of school, but possibly an Israel Keys case. Karen Reed. I'll have to check that out, Lone Pony. None of these online sleuths named RA. Yeah, no one named RA for sure. I know there was talk of like a Nordic thing early on, but the police ran down these people. It wasn't like they didn't interview these people and DNA test these people. They did all that. So we have a town called Dildo, Newfoundland, next to Spread Eagle. Well, it's good to see there's a sense of humor all across the globe. Krista behind the crime door, been doing great work. Part of the Larry Nassar Olympic profile. Yeah, that was a horrible case, and that was one of the guys that the FBI actually got kicked out because that was his buddy. But yeah, I wasn't sure if it was the Nassar situation, but I know that they were there. Like, boom, they sprang into action just because they were there. Battleground, Indiana. Battle Tippecanoe happened between Tecumseh and John Tyler's troops. And did you know this? I'm a big Cheers fan. If you watch the TV show Cheers in the 1980s, Mayday Malone, the wooden Indian that they had at the beginning of the door, his name was Tecumseh, which was Sherman's middle name later on, William Tecumseh Sherman. Here's the walk schedule from Jinx. April 5th, Tipton, 5 p.m. April 6th, Delphi. April 7th, Flora on Randy's channel. Yeah, I'll talk to you before we get out there, Jinx, and this coming week for sure. How certain people and officials are tied into meth. They'd be the craziest at some. Yeah. Again, I don't see this being a meth, big fish, small pond. If this is a hit or this is a drug hit, that's not how they do it. It's not personal. It's, it's 2 taps usually to the head. I see this as a sexual deviant, a sexual sadist that did this. But the meth thing isn't that big here. I've been schooled on it and trained on it, but we've only had one meth situation that didn't catch on fire. Yeah, he specialized in kids. He did a lot of others too. I was reading about him when I first heard yesterday. They mentioned him on that thing. I think KK is involved somehow. I don't think he knew Richard Allen. Maybe he never knew him personally, but there was something going on with that phone that I think Richard Allen was involved in. Ron Logan selling 1 mini cow. Ask for Red at the farm if you're looking for a last minute Easter meal. Yeah, Tecumseh. Tecumseh was the name of the cigar we used to. Well, there's guys at work that don't do anything, and we call them cigar store wooden Indians. Why? Well, because they just kind of stand there all day. They just stand there. Tecumseh, though, I'm a huge Cheers fan. Huge Cheers fan. My dog's name, his name's Kyrie, and his middle name is Tiberius, because Tiberius, if you remember watching Cheers, was Woody's middle name, Woodrow Tiberius Boyd, and that's where that came from. Karen Reed, YouTuber was Joe. Oh, wow. Lone Pony, thank you. I will definitely check that out. That sounds interesting. And if you have anything, Kevlar148@hotmail.com or gmail.com. I don't give anyone's internet or anyone's emails addresses out, even if I don't like them. I blocked someone in here and they emailed me something. And I blocked them on email and I says, I don't want to talk to you anymore. So I'm blocking you, but I'll never share your email with anyone else. But anyways, I appreciate you all tonight. There's just a couple of things that I wanted to lay out. Tell me what you think. If you're watching live, if you're in the comments or whatever, if you want to email me, anything like that. I look forward to meeting all of you next week. Like I said, I'm probably going to get in Lafayette around 6 or 7 o'clock by the time I leave and get there. I don't know if anything's going on Friday night. I'm actually cheering for Purdue to make the Final Four because it's Saturday night. It'll probably be pretty crazy up there. All right, people out partying because they're in the Final Four, I would guess. I don't know. I'm on Discord. I'm on email. I'm going to give some of you my phone number before I leave to come out. And if you're out there, like I said, don't feel a certain way because you believe one thing or the other. If you're out there because you love the girls, you're certainly welcome to come. I saw something like that. Sleuthing Squadron. I did see that. I have a screenshot of that, actually. I don't know where it went. I have other screenshots, too, that I can't explain. I could be going too deep. Yeah, like, subscribe, like on your way out, share if you enjoyed it. I'm going to get out of here. I'm going to go have a couple with my girlfriend. She bartends on Saturday nights. Not too busy. We'll come home and crank some music up. We cranked Cat Stevens, Wu-Tang. She was laughing. She's like, if anyone ever sees our playlist. Oh, speaking of playlists, I found a bunch of old videos I was looking up Delphi Investigations. I shared the whole thing. If you want to go watch it, if you're busy, they're anywhere from like 40 seconds to 4 minutes. News articles, different things. And I watch them over and over trying to spark something in my head, but I'm thinking, wow, why am I holding on to this? Let me share this with everyone that follows me or everyone that checks it out. Maybe you'll spark something in your head and you'll come back and be like, oh, shit, you missed this. Oh, I did miss it. Thank you, Big Fish. Always appreciate you coming in and talking and asking questions. I'm very curious for the truth, almost to like where it's like a drug. Like I feel like I know I'm not entitled to it, but I need to know. I need to know. Awesome. Let me know if I could help you in any way there. A lot of the hotels were booked up because of the eclipse coming up. Dr. Poon is here. Dr. Poon, good to see you. Hope you're taking care on a Saturday night, hanging loose there, Dr. Poon. People's names on YouTube are the best, even when they make fun of people that I like or myself. I laugh. I really do. Thank you, everybody. I'm going to get ready to get out of here. Think about what I showed you. I'll try to share an article that you don't got to goddamn pay $25 for about the doc, the good doc from Terre Haute there. Terre Haute. I'm sure I'm saying that wrong. But I hope everyone has a great Easter tomorrow. Spend time with your family. Eat your ham, for us, lamb, potato salad. Yes, yes. All made gluten-free for me. I have a couple of Red Bridges. And if you see me at the walks next week, I'll do another live before I come out. I'm shooting probably for Wednesday, but I'm not sure. You might see me before. Come up to me. You know what I look like. I don't know what you look like. Tell me your name on here because I don't know your real name. But like, hey, I'm Big Fish, or hey, I'm Dr. Poon, or hey, I'm Ron Logan, number 2, or whatever. I'd love to meet you and get to know you. And as long as we're cool and we're straight and everyone respects everybody, we could have a million different opinions. We could sit and chop it up, maybe watch some college basketball, drink some Turner's tea, maybe have a gluten-free beer or two, and we'll go from there. So everyone have a great Easter. And if you got kids or grandkids, I don't have grandkids yet, but if you got kids and they're young, they go so fast, fill their asses up with chocolate, let them eat it for breakfast. It's Easter tomorrow, different story. Let them go crazy. Don't run amok at grandma or Aunt Hoo-Haw's house or whoever, and they'll wear themselves out. But enjoy it. Don't forget to get your dogs Easter presents too. I got my dog a nice little bone. So hope Tiberius Kovac will get a bone for tomorrow. So I will say good night to you all and have a great Easter. Thank you for joining in today. Like, share, subscribe. Tell your friends about it. Follow and support your favorite creators always. Mommy Wolverine, fantastic. Thank you again for your super sticker. I appreciate it as always. Go watch some basketball. Go watch some baseball. The 10 Commandments, I think, are on tonight, right? They're always on ABC the night before Easter. Whatever you're going to do, have fun doing it and be nice to each other. And before we get out of here, we're going to say tentacles, like Doug Carter will say. So we're going to drink to that. I'm going to head on out. Happy Easter. I love you all. Coach Kev out.